Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So according to reports, former Inspector General of Police, Mr. Suleiman Abba, said that for Nigeria to drastically reduce crime and terrorist activities, she urgently needs to encourage more community policing. He further stated that Nigeria does not need foreign intervention to be able to reduce crime in her communities, but to promote more of community policing. Now, what are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Also, interestingly, in today's papers, the Deputy Senate President, Ekweremadu, also was talking, I think he traveled out the country and he was saying that he was going to try to push a bill to decentralize policing in Nigeria, because he feels that the only way we can curb the current happenings on security in Nigeria is if we have community policing. But there's been on the other side, there's been a flip side. There's this fear of if you do that, it's giving too much power to regions and states. What are your views on this?
It's the lip service that annoys me. So Ekweremadu is outside the country and buttressing a point that is obvious in our face. When the bill for devolution of powers failed at the National Assembly, that's the problem.
In his very before.
In his very before. And we did not hear he was arguing for this. So that's the problem for me. We know that with the example of the civilian JTF, the success that we enjoyed, and you know, with Lagos, for instance, we've not had all those waterside crimes that we had with Festac and Ikorodu at the time, because now there's partnership between what's the new name in Lagos now? Neighborhood Watch, and all that happening. So we've seen it. We've seen that it's a success.
Effective.
It's a working model, and we should have by now have it put into laws. We've had this 8th Assembly had the opportunity to amend the Constitution this year, and we did not get devolution.
But the other argument of it gives too much excessive powers to states and regions where, you know, they have the kind of control they have. You know, right now, the federal government is controlling the police, so there's still some kind of interdependence between us and the federal government. Now, once you give that power to the police, to the state, let me come to Yemi here.
No, I was just going to say that that's starting point. So if state policing, which is one aspect of it, will basically take the federal structure that you are talking about and make it statewide. But community police, which is what she's more referencing to, it puts a layer of accountability. And so Lagos State is a hybrid. They're not fully community policing yet. They're more sort of trying to be state police-like.
Consider the difference. Please help us understand. I want our viewers to understand the difference.
So community police has a layer of accountability that the police structure works with the community. So we actually have a meeting where we say, okay, what are the policing needs for this community? Where should we focus areas? Where should we deploy people? And so there's communication. So we can tell you, okay, this is working. And then we are able to check and say, okay, you're doing your work, and we can communicate clearly. So the police is accountable to that particular community, not the IG of the state in Alausa, but to the one in my community. So that's where the conversation happens. But you can have just state police where it's just taking the federal structure, putting it in the state operationally, and that doesn't necessarily include the input of the community members.
For me, I support the state policing because it's worked in countries like the US. This actually started, the practice and the concept started in 1970 in the US. And over time, it's been evolving and evolving and evolving, and it's working. And it's more like a community where I know everybody in my area, and a new person comes up, I know this is a new person, this is a face I'm not supposed to say. So you are able to familiarize with your police, you know, people who are protecting you, and you can tell these are some of the things that we have noticed about this person. We need to check what this person is doing and all of that. So it brings that closure between the people and the police.
Going by the difference in the definition of the community policing, why is this difficult for states, other states? I mean, I know Lagos is trying to, but other states haven't been able to implement that community policing. But let me take this call first for Olumide. Olumide, are you there? Olumide?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We can hear you very clearly. Go ahead, please. Lost that call.
So for me, I understand this when I think of what Autumn was saying when he got to that point when he felt so helpless and said to his people that defend yourself even with stones, and people thought he was stupid. Now, Lagos is one state that has funds. We know.
They have a security trust fund.
They have a security trust fund started by the past governor. So they have a lot of things working for them. But these states with new emerging issues don't know what to do. if the law had, for instance, empowered the state to be in charge of security, which I think a state should be by now, following what we have across board, if Ekiti didn't take grazing into its hands, they probably will have the situation that they have in Plateau now in Ekiti. Okay. So if Autumn had security under his control, probably things will be better. Now you have your community.
You can't say no. Autumn has security on his country. He's the chief security officer. He gets his own security force. No, let's not exonerate Autumn from this whole situation.
Not exonerate, yes, but the governor of Bauchi says he's removing chief security officer from his title as governor of the state because he doesn't control the security forces. Okay. The commissioner of police in any state takes instructions from the IG of police. The governor cannot instruct the commissioner of police in any state to do anything. Exactly. I agree with you that the governor still has a responsibility in managing that relationship. So in that regard, you have a responsibility.
So what would you say the Lagos State government has? I know, let's not compare the money they have, but imagine the security force that they get in this state, in Bauchi and other states. How can you use those funds to support what the IG or the Inspector General, the Commissioner of Police is doing in your state? What have you done to show?
So
my point is that
no, Lagos State can do that. Honestly, because Lagos State supports the structure financially. Yes. The budgeting for the police is really quite poor. I think each station maybe gets 10,000 naira per month or 20, something quite small. So if you are in a state where the government of the state can say, let's come along with you and help you with cars, help you with resources, then the ability to listen is a bit more relaxed. Right. Versus a state where the state governor is not offering you anything.
I don't even think it's about funds. I think it's about knowing what you want to do. Are we going this direction? Then we can, channel, because there are some states that you think they don't have money, but I go around and I see them in the local government. They share money. They come there and they share money. So where is the money coming from?
For community policing itself, obviously needs money. Community policing, you need funds to push that also.
They're sharing the money for different things.
At this point, you are working with the community. So the Oba or the Bale of this place can say, okay, this is what we are going to support these people.
Let me take this call. Morning, are you there? Thanks for calling. Idowu?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this state police.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I don't support the state police.
Okay.
I prefer federal government to put more importance to the police. Because this state police now, its corruption is going to cut again.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this state police is to give us another more corruption.
Right.
Yeah, that's my own suggestion.
Okay. Thank you very much. Even if there's corruption, it's not better to manage than...
Does Idowu believe that since we know it's likely to start corruption, can we stem it by creating the law? So you put the law in place and you put what will stop that corruption from happening.
In place.
So you put a proper system in place. Because the truth is, if we had community policing, every state will guard its borders. You will protect your citizens. People won't come in and you say, okay, we've redeployed about 14,000 of them to the Eagle Square for a convention. Right. You won't have that excuse. Right. And every governor of a state now just comes and absorbs itself that, okay, and I don't have control of security in my state.
Little thing, no, I wouldn't say little. That's not a good word to use. Other domestic things like rape, violence amongst people, where you don't feel protected. The police are there trying to curb crime in other business, and you are coming with your rape case. I'm wondering, please, I beg, madam. Well, if you have community policing, you have some kind of connection with the law enforcement to help you to at least get some kind of justice on that. I think we have a call. Okay, we don't have a call.
Okay, so for me, the reason for community policing is preventive, more like trying to stop the crime and not just waiting after the crime is committed, then you are responding back. So now if you have community policing, the people manning a particular area already know the people in that area.
They know the area.
They know the area.
The reason why we've discussed this is because it's hot, and the Deputy Senate President has said that when he returns, he's going to push a bill. So let us monitor this bill and see the outcome, because also the conversation concerning restructuring is also ongoing, and Pillar is also tied to this decentralizing of police. So let us see how it pans out. But both arguments are coming up on why do we need and why we don't need. Anyway, let's go on a break. We come back. Join us is yet another aspirant. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned